Hello friends and welcome to another book haul. I have a couple of bankers boxes full of books to share with y'all for this video, in addition to a gift that was sent to me. It says Christmas in July and it was from R.D. Allen, so R.D. Allen, thank you so much. I'm going to open them. He literally wrapped them. Not only did he bubble wrap them, but he wrapped them like actual presents, which is so sweet. I am very impressed. You even did like the ribbon and everything. Very impressed with your wrapping skills. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the books that I'm keeping that I've recently picked up, and then we're going to open some presents, and then I'm going to show you all the books that I have picked up to share with you guys. As in, I'm going to be selling them on Whatnot at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on Sunday. Hopefully you guys will be there. I will put a link in the description down below where you'll get a $15 credit to buy something if you have never used Whatnot before. That can go towards buying a book. It won't go towards the shipping, but it is, you know, media mail shipping, so hopefully it will still be cheap. And the more you buy, the cheaper it gets, because I think like the first pound is like $4.63, and then I think it's only like 75 cents for each pound after that. That can add up really quick, or not add up really quick. I don't know where I'm going with this. Anyway, first book I'm showing you is Rainbow's End, A Novel with One Foot in the Future by Vernor Vinge. I picked this up recently at a second-hand store because this was actually in their clearance aisle. And so I got this for very, very cheap. I mean, not my typical sourcing cheap prices, but this came to me very cheap. And it's a hardcover, so I have a propensity towards hardcovers, so, or maybe I should say a preference to hardcover, but that doesn't mean I don't buy soft covers. This is my first time finding Blindsight out in the wild. I got this at the same secondhand store, also for very cheap. My friend Matt read this and gave it a positive review. And this book is in like new condition, uncreased spine. So this is my first time finding it out in the wild, and I do consider secondhand stores out in the wild. So I definitely picked that up. And then I was given a gift. My wonderful friend Second, who has been a longtime follower of my Twitch channel, like in the beginning when I first got affiliated, and she stuck with me through Partner and onto the YouTube space here. So she's amazing. One of the games I play religiously on my Twitch channel is Sardy Valley, and they came out with an official cookbook with all of the recipes, and this is the most gorgeous thing that I have ever seen. Not only does it have like actual photographs of the food, but it has just the most adorable drawings of it as well. Oh, those are the notes that she sent me. This is just amazing. Like, got little tips with Haley. I just love this so much. I was told about it and immediately put it on my list, and then Second immediately bought it for me. So Second, thank you so much. She also bought, not book related, she bought my dog Eileen a new herding ball to play with, and I'm going to cut into some footage of Eileen playing with her new herding ball because she demolished the last one. That's her favorite thing to do. My favorite thing is when they're brand new and they bounce and she can't catch them, and so she's like a fish out of water. Her favorite thing to do is to chew a hole through it so she can stick her snoot in, and then also prevents it from bouncing as much. So it's easier for her to carry back to me because she's lazy, and also makes it so she doesn't do this in the air as much anymore. I just talked way too much about my dog in a book haul video, so hopefully you're still watching. Look, I actually have scissors. I am actually prepared this time. Series title is Trolling Heinlein. Okay, I like it. I still haven't read a Heinlein yet. I have so many misgivings, and so many people have told me that I'm not gonna like it, or like him as an author, that oh my god, I have never heard of this. So this is Christopher Stashie, author of the Warlock series, which I almost have all of those now in paperback. A Company of Stars, book 1 of Starship Troopers. That's hilarious. If you don't know why someone would buy this for me, and if you've never heard of Christopher Stashie, because he's kind of like, I really just need to reread this book. The reason why this book was given to me, I'm sure, is because I love Christopher Stashie. I have Stegamen from Her Majesty's Wizard, which is one of his series, fantasy series, tattooed on my arm forever, and nobody talks about this dude at all. Like, he was popular in the 70s and 80s, and then like by the mid 90s, like nobody talks about him anymore, or I guess really reads them except for me and a few other passionate people. But this is very exciting. Thank you so very much for that. That is very exciting. Trippy page 169. Okay, I might have to like save this little section so I have it in the book so I could be prepared for that. Or maybe I need to just skip ahead and look at Trippy 169. What is this? Masters of Fantasy. Weber, Ringo, Drake, Lackey, Norton, Moon, and more. So this is a Bane, but it looks like it is a short story collection. Okay, so they're offering little short stories set in the author's most popular, like, fantasy series. Interesting. Oh, okay, so this one has a Warlock story by Christopher Stashie, The Afterlife of Saint Vidcon of Cathode, which is 169. Nice. He gets the best billing. Okay, cool. So that's, again, probably why this is gifted to me, is because it has Christopher Stashie in there, especially since R.D. is pointing out where he is. Oath? Is it the Oathbound Wizard? I think that's one of the books in the Wizard series with the Stegamen. It is, yes, okay, beautiful, perfect. Okay, so this gives me an excuse to buy something, or maybe not. So this is The Oathbound Wizard. This, I think, is the second book in this story. Yes, so this is the second book. So Her Majesty's Wizard is the first book, and the one with Stegamen's tattooed on my arm. This is the second book in hardcover. Thank you so much. So I have a first edition hardcover of Her Majesty's Wizard. This is the second book. These are really hard to find in hardcover, I found, out in the wild anyway. I didn't find the original hardcover I have out in the wild. I did pay like $26 for it online because I wanted a first edition one because of how much this book means to me. So the fact I now have the second one is amazing, and I don't know if any more of the series are in here. If they are, I know at the store that I bought the Werner Vinge and the Blindsight book at has the Secular Wizard there in hardcover, and I might have to buy that now, because now I would have an excuse. I want this is okay. I know I see a lot of people here on BookTube, especially here in the vintage space, that like collect covers of the different books or collect different series of their favorite authors. Oh my god, did you get me another one? Yes! Oh my god, you got me the Witch Doctor! I am getting so excited. Oh my goodness. Yeah, so this is the third book, so book 3. So I have 1, 2, and 3 now. Her Majesty's Wizard, again, I just need to reread it and actually do a review. Okay, so the Secular Wizard. If you got me the Secular Wizard, well then I don't have to buy it. You did. I think so. So this is the 4th book. So I don't have to buy it. It's given to me. R.D., this is amazing. I am so excited. I actually kind of want to cry, but that's for a lot of reasons. It's been a very hard weekend for me in a lot of ways. So this was really nice. I'm trying not to cry. It's been a really hard weekend for me in my personal life. So thank you. This was really nice. I just need to reread Her Majesty's Wizard and actually do a review and like talk in depth of like why it's meant so much to me, so much to the point where like I tattooed it on my body. And actually just like do a review of the book. I haven't read it this far into my adulthood. There was a time in my life from the time I found the book when I was 12. I read it every year. I would reread it once a year. Like, especially if like I'm in a place right now where I'm not very good mentally, in a good mental place, so that's normally when I would read the book. like my comfort book. So give me a minute. So now let me show you what I am sharing. Now that I have shown what has been shared with me, I'm going to now show you what I'm sharing with you. All of these books are going to be available for sale up on Whatnot at 11 a.m. The following books are all brand new. They're all science fiction and Golden Age Masterworks that I got from the dealer I've talked about before. I am starting off the auction. Whatnot is an online auction selling platform. I am starting all of these books off at $7 because that is how much it cost me to buy them. Basically, yeah. It costs $7 to buy all these books. So I am passing these on to you guys. I've gotten multiple copies of a lot of them. If I remember if I have multiple copies of them, I will say it in the video. But all of the Golden Age and SF Masterworks have already been listed in my Whatnot show, so you can just click on the link down below and immediately see which ones I have multiples of if I don't remember. So, two Alfred Besters, The Demolished Man and The Star Is My Destination. Again, brand new, beautiful, very crispy SF Masterworks. These look really nice on a shelf. I personally think they look really nice on a shelf. One day I will find a hardcover one of these out in the wild and I will literally throw up in my mouth. Not really. I have two of each of these, so more than one person can pick them up. I do only have one copy of this. This is Earthlight by Arthur C. Clarke. And this is the Golden Age Masterwork, which has the yellow and black instead of all the yellow. I also only have one copy of Babel 17, which is still my favorite Delaney, and I feel is his most accessible personally, after now reading 3 Delaney books, which I had hoped that video would have come out before then, but again, life's been a little hard this week, so that will come out after this video. But Babel 17 is one I feel like Delaney said is best. I did a review on it already, which I will link that up above if I remember. I might not. We have the Dick himself. Some of these I do have duplicates of. I do believe I have duplicates of Dr. Blood Money, Time Out of Joint, Martian Time Slip. I think the only one I don't have more than one of is The Penultimate Truth, but I'm not 100% sure, so don't, hold me accountable if there's only one available for sale. I don't remember. I do only have one of these, The Body Snatchers by Jack Finney, which had that, I think, from the 70s horror movie. Maybe it's earlier than the 70s, but that's what that movie is based off of, is this. I do have Henry Kuttner, Fury. I do have a couple of these, the Golden Age Masterwork. And in addition to having a couple of these, I also have his wife, C.L. Moore. I have several copies of both Doomsday Morning and Northwest of Earth. I also have multiple copies of Christopher Priest's Inverted World. And I also have in my own personal collection all of these books as well, because if I'm buying them to share, I might as well buy some to keep too, so you know what I'm saying. We have Joanna Russ, The Female Man. I do wish that Galans would publish more of her in the Science Fiction Masterworks. I think that would be amazing, but this is her most well-known work, The Female Man. I am so excited to offer multiple copies of Sirius by Olaf Stapleton. This is one of the first instance of an animal being the protagonist in a book, and it's a dog that has, through experimentation and breeding, been made into a super hyper intelligent animal. And yeah. Also, I believe where Sirius Black got his name from, or was inspired by. So there is that. I have more other Olaf Stapleton as well, so book to sell with series, but also some of the ones I've had before. Odd John by Olaf Stapleton, which is one of the first Superman, or I should say superhuman stories. Olaf Stapleton is considered a contemporary with H.G. Wells, but is not talked about as much as H.G. Wells, which I don't understand why. First and Last Man. Last and First Men. Oh my goodness. Can you tell I have dyslexia? And then Star Maker as well. I'm also super excited to share with you guys. I do have the Strugatsky Brothers up for sale. I even have a copy of Roadside Picnic available for sale in the SF Masterworks. I got so excited when I saw that. We also have The Inhabited Island by the Strugatsky Brothers. Monday starts on Saturday. I have multiple copies of this one. The Snail in the Slope. And The Doomed City, which is very exciting. And then the last one is another one I have more than one copy of, which is The Man Who Fell to Earth, which apparently was made into a movie that starred David Bowie, which I did not know, and no, I have not watched it yet, Igor. I'm so sorry. Like I said, rough week. Man Who Fell to Earth. I have multiple copies of this. But yeah, so this is just like one of each of the ones I have up for sale. Again, some of these do have multiples. All of these are already listed, so if you can't make 11 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday, totally understand. You can just put pre-bids in, and then you don't have to be there. Just put in what you're willing to spend, and then if it goes, if it doesn't get bid up, you get it. I love how I just explained how auctions work, but oh well. All right. Let me show you what I am selling that is not brand new. These are all pre-loved vintage and or semi-modern books. This is Martha Wells' City of Bones. Martha Wells is most well known for her Murderbot series. That's what I know her from, which I find very, very good. But here is a trade paperback. Obviously, it was also well loved because, you know, I can only imagine if I've enjoyed her Murderbot series and her science fiction. Her fantasy is probably also going to be amazing. This is the first book in the Moral Instruments. What is it when it's 6 books? Well, sept is 7. Sexology? That sounds like I'm talking about something else. Anyway, there are 6 books in this series. This introduced me to Cassandra Clare. Cassandra Clare is another author I have tattooed permanently on my body. This is the Clockwork Angel series, which is a trilogy set in the same Shadowhunter world as this book. I have not finished this series. I got halfway through the 5th book. I got distracted by another book, and I feel like it's so much time has passed since I've read the books. I would need to reread them, and I will at some point in my life. Who knows? Maybe when I, win the lottery, I'll be able to just sit and read. It would be great. But City of Bones, also highly recommend this series as well. I have an Amber novel, book club edition hardcover of Trumps of Doom. Every time I see this cover, it makes me laugh, mostly because that makes me laugh as well. This dude relaxing in his house. I have a copy of Robert Silverberg's Madripoor Chronicles. The happy little rainbow there. We got our Bob Ross happy little rainbow. This is also a book club edition, but I have that. Everything else is paperback. I have a Tanith Lee. This is a short story collection by Tanith Lee retelling different fairy tales. Red as Blood, I'm guessing, is supposed to be, Red Riding Hood. But this is a bunch of Tanith Lee's retelling of fairy tales. So a bunch of little short stories in here. Super surprised to find that available. As usual, I have Michael Chabin, the Yiddish Policemen's Union. I keep finding these and I keep selling them, so I'm going to keep putting them up. I have my own copy. Again, this is my favorite style of trade paperback where they got the flappies. You guys tell me every time what these are technically called, and I forget every time. I do remember deckled edges though now. Again, another reason why I love BookTube, and like you guys sharing your information or your knowledge. It helps me out so much. It makes me be a better seller, and I feel like a better book lover. But I keep picking this up. I will read this because this is a Nebula Award winner at some point. Speaking of Nebula Award winners, Jeff Vandermeer's Annihilation. This is the movie edition, or more fondly called on BookTube, the Will Smith edition. So we got the Annihilation there. And then I only have one premiere mass market of Fable. I've never played this game. I love fantasy RPGs. I've never played this game, and every time I tell somebody that, they get so upset at me. Valid, but I haven't played any of the Fable games. But here's a book. This came out originally, I think, when did the... This one has a little note in it. Apparently somebody ran out of ink and wrote themselves a note of what ink their printer took and put it in this book for some reason. I do not know why. Anyway, here is Fable. I do actually have a couple of DAWs up for sale. This is The Warriors of Dawn by M.A. Forster. DAW number UW1291. And then I have DAW number 556, Channel's Destiny. Now this one does have like some, like, looks like a sticker that was there, and it just will not come off, and I'm worried I'm going to damage the book trying to get that off, so I'm just going to leave it there. It doesn't, it kind of just looks like part of the picture, honestly, unless you look at it too close. But Channel's Destiny, so those are the two DAWs I have. I have actually, so I showed you the Werner Vinge I'm keeping. This is the Werner Vinge I'm selling. I found this book twice the same week, one in paperback, which I thought of keeping, and then I found the hardcover, and I was like, well, that's Manifest Destiny if I've ever seen it. So this one's gonna go up for sale. We have Morgan Llewellyn, 1921. She kind of writes historical fantasy. Historical romance mostly, but I think that she fits, so she's going up for sale here. Lord Fowl's Bane. This is the Chronicles of Covenant the Unbleeder, book 1, so this is the first book in the first trilogy, and this is a mass market from the 80s. It's very floppy. Orson Scott Card, Empire. This is his attempt at alternate history. My understanding, anyway. Terry Pratchett and Neil Gaiman, Good Omens. The Nice and Accurate Prophecies of Agnes Nutter Witch, which of course has now been made into a very popular show starring Michael Sheen and the best Doctor Who. So if you don't agree with me, it's okay to be wrong. We have Sabriel by Garth Nix, another fantasy book. And Neil Stephenson's The Diamond Age. The Queen of the Damned, book 3 of the Vampire Chronicles by Anne Rice. Of course, also made into a movie. Michael Crichton, Timeline. Tinker by Wynne Spencer. This is a Bane book. I just picked it up because it was like a box sale where I could fill a box full of books, and it was like one low rate, so I'm definitely going to do that. We have Oathblood by Mercedes Lackey. This is, so another author I have tattooed on me. This is By the Sword. This is Need by the Sword, which is a sword. By the Sword is a standalone novel in Mercedes Lackey's Valdemar world, and the main character, Carowyn, the main protagonist, goes to get help from her grandmother and her grandmother's friend, Kethri and Tarma. And this Oathblood trilogy is actually that story telling of those two ladies. So, Oathblood, there is that book. I have The Hobbit by J.R.R. Tolkien. This one is a little old. I think this is one of the 80s printings. all this information will be in the listings when I list them. I will be listing all of the pre-owned books tonight after this video goes out. So be aware. Horror book, John Saul, The Perfect Nightmare. Debt of Bones by Terry Goodkind, one of his blessedly short ones. A lot of Terry Goodkind's work also seems to be a little thick. So Orson Scott Card, Prentice Alvin, The Tales of Alvin Maker, #3. There's that one. This one's got some black marks there on the end. We have this is the edition I read, not this exact book. I didn't read this exact book, but this is the edition I read of The Forever War when I did read this one, because this is a Nebula Award winner. One of the books that I almost DNF'd, but was really glad I didn't, because it actually turned out to be good. So the beginning was just a little hard as a modern reader to read. Midnight Voices, another John Saul book, another horror book by John Saul. And then the first book in the Thieves World series by Janet Morris. This is Beyond Sanctuary. I do like the covers for these ones. That's a really cool looking cat dude. Again, all the stuff I just showed you that is going to go up for sale, it'll be up for sale on Whatnot. I hope to see you there. You don't have to buy anything. You can just come hang out with me and, again, share your book knowledge or tell me what you've been reading or just geek out about books with me. I'd be perfectly happy to just talk to you guys for a while and distract myself from my problems, which I keep having in this house that I hate with my entire soul at this point. Also, any of the books that sell will go to buying me a new water heater. Instead of what I wanted to go to, it's going to go to being an adult, because that is something I think I'm going to have to do now. Cool. Cool story, bro. But again, I am very grateful, R.D. Allen, very much to you for buying me all of the amazing Christopher Stashie books and sharing them with me. It was a nice bright point and otherwise a really bad day today filming this video. And second, thank you for the Sardy Valley book, and thank you all of you for watching this video. I will see you guys in the next one, hopefully with that Delaney review I mentioned earlier. Bye! Bye.